Hello everyone, it's Anthony Bandiero, attorney for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another Roadside Chat from ICP 2025 here in Denver, Colorado. So, got some time to answer some questions. This first one on deck is a cop from Florida. He wants to talk about Arizona versus Gant. He's talking about, hey, there are two, exceptions when you can do a search incident to arrest a motor vehicle after Gant. One, if the person has been arrested, unrestrained, near the vehicle at the time of the search. Well, we know that's, that's going to be a lunge area search, and we know that that really is not going to happen with any kind of regularity in law enforcement, because it'd be unsafe and unwise and so forth to do that kind of lunge area search. Now, the other one is if you have a reason to believe that there's offense-related evidence inside that passenger compartment. Well, the officer asked a very good question. Is that offense-related search, is that limited to areas where you believe the evidence could be found, right? In other words, if you believe that more evidence of credit card fraud could be in that car, are you only supposed to look in areas where a credit card could fit? If you believe that there's more evidence of shoplifting and they have, like a certain type of item that they're stealing, are you supposed to be looking in those type of areas that can fit that item? And I think the answer is yes. And remember, at the end of the day, the Fourth Amendment only prohibits one type of search or seizure, an unreasonable one. Being unreasonable essentially means you have crew. Or I'm sorry, you do not have crew, you don't have consent, a recognized exception, or a warrant. But each recognized exception, whether it's Gant, Carroll, a good old-fashioned PC search, the border exception, and so forth, they all have their rules. They all have their limitations, because at the end of the day, warrantless searches and seizures are presumed unreasonable, so we want to make sure that we confine our search to why the court allowed us to do it in the first place. Now, I think generally speaking, when you're doing these searches, you're going to be able to search almost everywhere in the passenger compartment, because a lot of the evidence that you are looking for can be small, especially for narcotics. However, if you have a case where no, look, I only have a reason to believe that the item I'm looking for is relatively large, well, you should be only looking in those areas where those items could reasonably fit. Okay, and so I think that just makes sense. So it's a good question. Again, it probably won't come up too often, because a lot of these search incident to arrest cases for evidence are for drugs, but it's a great question. And I don't have an exact case on it. If you know a case on this very issue, please put that into the comments below. But actually, I'll make one other point. Many cases that I've seen that involve this type of search involve actually DUIs, right? So you have a driver, whether it's DUI alcohol or DUI drugs. Let's go with the alcohol. And is there often a reason to believe that there may be an open container, in that vehicle? And especially if you look, and this is a DUI alcohol arrest, this is not for drugs. Where should you look for more alcohol, right? For more evidence of that crime. You should be looking in areas where a bottle of alcohol could fit. And if you're looking in a coin purse, I think that's really pushing it. Now, Anthony, what if they're coming from a bar? Can we look for the receipt? Sure, look for the receipt. The receipt's going to be small, so you can look in small places. But again, I think you should be looking in places you reasonably believe a receipt could be. Now, DUI drugs, that's of course going to be a lot different. That is going to be a lot more minute areas and so forth. And I guess that's a good point of what we're talking about here. Just be reasonable under the Fourth Amendment. All right? Have an articulation about why you're doing what you're doing. Remember, at Blue to Gold, our motto here is to get it right every single time. I hope this has helped you. If you need anything from us, go to bluetogold.com. And until next time, my friends, you stay safe.